Yo, welcome back. Home Team Heroes, Season 2, Episode 4. We got a post-roll legend on here, man. Post-roll legend on here with us today, man. It's your boy SB.
D-Money, man. Yeah, I know. I miss me. I know.
Before we get any further, we got one of my best friends, somebody that was in my wedding, man. Somebody that I call my brother. We got Dwayne Brown, a.k.a. Big Daddy, a.k.a. Post Roll's Finest, a.k.a. Warren's Undefeated Freshman Officer Coordinator, a.k.a. O-Line Guru, a.k.a. Pancake Club, a.k.a. Two-time cancer survivor, a.k.a.
What?
a.k.a. Just an all-around GOAT, man. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir.
having me on, man.
Yeah, bro. And hey, no problem. It's an honor for us to even have you on here, brother. Before we jump off, we always got to jump onto our first sponsor, man. If you don't know, if you haven't heard, we do it every episode. Jet Life Co. They just dropped that fall line, man. If you're looking for fall hoodies for your significant other, it's Valentine's Day coming up. Shoot over to jetlifeco.com, JETLYFE. Shout out to Sean and Reem, man. Jet Life, if you didn't know, it stands for positivity, love, family, and friends with a goal to unite the Chicago area through a high-quality designer brand. So we're not talking about Glad. We're not talking about, them shirts that smell like pickles that you get off of Alibaba. We're talking about good quality. We're talking about good material. We're talking about shrink-proof. We're talking about fire designs. So get behind some locals, man. You go spend $750 on a ugly shirt from Prada. You don't know nothing about the owner of Prada, so you know about these guys. Go look at their bio, research, man, and buy some gear, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Facts. Fire gear too.
Fire gear. So D Brown, man. Let's just jump it off first, man. So growing up, I'm guaranteeing you was probably the biggest kid growing up your whole life. Just describe, how it is or how it was, just being the biggest kid at, anything you did.
It was cool with me. Now, I guess the biggest person was my mom. So, like, a story is, I was playing at, I think, Eastern Star, and I was in this little basketball league, and I'm like, probably
Shout
fifth.
out Pastor Johnson. My fault.
Yeah, that's my guy. I think I was in either fifth or sixth grade. We in this basketball league, man, and I'm out there hooping, but I am bigger, stronger than everybody. So a kid go for a layup, I block the shot, but we make contact with our body, so he go flying, and somebody mama yelled out, "Get that monster off my baby!" And Shaq, you know how my mom is. She didn't appreciate that. She understands. Like, oh, no, we on church grounds, but you ain't gonna call my son no monster. So, but yeah, definitely, pretty much until I got to high school, I was pretty much biggest kid on my team, and then even it really wasn't until I really got to college that it was. You look around, like, especially playing Division I offensive line, you look around like, it's some giants out here. That I kind of like fit in size wise, etc.
And then kind of piggybacking off of that, I was the littlest kid ever, in all my sports, so I never have to worry about getting that type of energy. I was a runt of the litter around, so it really didn't matter with me. Darren, man, he really didn't play too many sports, man.
Oh my God. Niggas be disrespecting me so bad, bro. So bad. I was a decent sized kid, man. I wasn't too big. I wasn't too skinny, but I held my own. I knew how to put fucking Shaq on his damn head. But I wouldn't have had no business with you, big brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, though. But Shaq, I'd have fucked up for sure. No, man, that's... Go ahead. Oh, my fault. Go ahead. Oh, well, shit. Man, so like you said, picking back off of that, man, I don't know too many people knew. Shaq just told me a few days ago, man, all the health issues that you had to deal with. I don't know if you want to touch base with that. And how did you use that inspiration, to keep pushing you forward, brother? Because when a lot of people deal with those life, uncertainties, it puts a damper on you, brother. But I heard you wasn't just a one-time, you was a two-time champ at this. So you feel what I'm saying? So, like, that's dope on that. So speak on that. And then how did that patience help you get into, because people also know that you're a coach. So how did that patience of dealing with all that and staying persistent and consistent, and how did you transfer that into coaching?
So the first time I had cancer, I was actually 19. I was actually in the middle of transitioning. I signed out of high school to Eastern Michigan University. At Shaq, we used to be getting our head pushed in. So you go from like Warren, you go to being like number 3 ranked in the country in high school, and then you go to Eastern Michigan, you like bottom 3 in the country. And so I was in the middle of transitioning from there when I found out I had cancer. And so, I beat it the first time. I literally beat it like February like 28th. I was at JUCO like maybe 2 weeks later max. Like I was gone. Like I remember I was so weak that when I got to JUCO, like you get in the weight room with a bunch of dudes. I'm a competitor. I played college sports and stuff. I got in the weight room, tried to put like 135 on there. Couldn't even do it. I ended up having to like my JUCO coaches made me take a broomstick and like that's what I lifted for like a week, and then they let me get like 5 pounds. 10 pounds made me work my way all the way up. And so I ended up still going there, like getting back to where I was before and ended up like getting a bunch of accolades at JUCO. And then I ended up at Bethune-Cookman where I graduated from and was like HBCU All-American and all that stuff. And so last year when COVID and all that was going on, I had like a cough and I was losing weight again. So I was kind of nervous, but I thought I just had COVID. And so and because of COVID, with the way healthcare and stuff was going on, that it was hard to get in to see my hematologist, which is like my cancer doctor. So it took a couple months for him to get availability for me to be able to see me. And when he did, he was like, they want to be 100% sure before they do any chemotherapy, before they do any of that stuff. So I did a bunch of tests. I did like a bone marrow sample, which is, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So it's like they actually drill through your bone and like take the bone marrow sample out. So I
I would have checked
did
out.
that. Yeah, like the first time the crazy part, I told my wife how bad it was. And so the first time she wasn't there when I did it. The second time she was in the room when they did it, like I was holding her hand and like she said like this is like crazy. And like the craziest part about it is my doctor both times was like, yeah, you handled it way better than most people. And I'm thinking like, but I almost put my fist and hand through the wall. Like how did I handle this good? But so he was telling us stories and stuff of different patients he had over the years. But I saw all this. I found out I had cancer again. So I ended up actually coaching my first football game. We played Center Grove. I coached my first game like on a Friday night. And then actually like the Saturday, the day after, I actually went in the hospital to actually start chemotherapy. And so honestly, that's what kind of kept me going. It was the kids and coaching. It was like football. Like that's what I was like a first time coach and I was on varsity and, like it was kids every day. Like my old line would text me, like if I had to miss a day to go do chemo or something, cause I had it during the week. Like if I missed a day, they call and text me like, Coach Brown, you good? Like, I just want to check on you. I want to make sure you good. I love you. We want to make sure everything's straight, and especially cause they knew I was in a high risk group because of doing chemo and all that in COVID. So like they protected me like they was my little brothers, so it was like it helped me with like building relationships and doing that type of stuff. And then after we played, I ended up going down to help our youth program. We went to Tennessee and won a bunch with that. The same kids that's from this freshman class I got the shirt on. After we went to Rocky Top in Knoxville, and won there, I went into the hospital because it was my second time. My hematologist didn't want. He basically don't want it to ever come back. So we went and kind of did the hardest path, and I did a stem cell transplant. And so so I sat in I was in the hospital for Christmas. I think I got out the day after, like 2 days after Christmas, but I was in there for a couple weeks. I got chemotherapy I got it twice a day for 8 days straight. So I had already been getting chemo since like August through November, and then they gave me like 2 weeks off or like a session off because I knew I was going to do the stem cell stuff. And so I got it, let's say 8 times then throughout from August to November. And then I got another 16 in a 8-day span. So I did it, and plus the 10 or 11 times I did it the first time, I done did like over probably 30 rounds of chemotherapy.
Man,
So, it was
You good now though, right?
yeah, I've been like I'm blessed, I as of April I've been in remission. I had surgery a couple weeks ago to get my port removed out of my chest. And so that's kind of like the last kind of signal that like you in remission and you good. So once you get that port out, that's kind of like, yeah, you
Yeah.
good. I just got to come, like I do a 6-month checkup, a year checkup, 2 years, and then
Okay.
5 years.
Man, congratulations, dog.
congratulations.
So happy for you, dog.
I appreciate it.
For real. That's dope, man. That is so dope, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm pussy when it comes to hospitals. Hate the smell of them, hate the view of them, and then the bone marrow. I ain't never like heard anybody that went through it, but I've seen it on, you see it on shows before, and that shit is crazy. So yeah, the one. Look at Shaq, you know a little something, bro. You got a little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm the man.
But nah, that's dope, bro. That's definitely exciting to hear. So when it comes to coaching, brother, so you coach the freshman team, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to coaching, man, so the patience, right? Because I want to get into coaching, but I am not patient with kids at all. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know the game at a different level. I'm very analytical when it comes to the game, but the coaching with the patience, man. Like, so how did you deal with the patience? Especially with everything, like the stress and everything that's going on. How did you handle and channel that patience? And then what did you tell the kids? You feel what I'm saying, as far as patience and persistence, and to keep going, not to keep grinding and things of that nature.
Probably the biggest thing for me with patience is kind of meeting the kids where they at. So, I'm an East Side guy. The kids most of them are East Side kids. So, they mama like my mama. My mom was a single parent. The whole my family fight, everybody fight. So we similar in the background and how we was raised. And so meeting them, like I know certain kids have been through certain stuff, so they gonna respond to certain situations different. Like, sometimes coaches don't. If you're not from that background, it's hard for you to understand. Like, why would you go do that? Well, if that's how, your family ate for years or however, whatever the situation is, you got to kind of understand what they go through and kind of, if you've been there, you can see it and you can know it and you can be like, hey, this ain't the way we need to do it. This how you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's honestly the patience part is what's helped me is I didn't got the same experiences as them, a lot of them, so I can give them like, hey, this is what happened with me, do this, or I would do this, or I would do that. I would do this different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them to learn from any mistake that I feel like I've had, and that's what we tell them every day is kind of like every day we trying to build and build and build. Like, you ain't going to win a state championship in a day. It's going to take a whole off season and a season where every day you and everybody commits and, gives whatever they got to help further the program and, keep kind of getting Warren back where we feel like Warren should be at.
Okay.
And and feedback out that, Darren, like you just gotta understand your audience. I mean, you can't yell. I mean, you can yell at the kids you want. Like, you got to draw that far line of what you want to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. But you got to know how to reach different kids. Some kids are just like how everybody learns different. Like, some people are audible, some people like to visually see something. So you got to learn what type of kids you're dealing with in the midst of you not losing the general message that you try to share with the team. But you're gonna have kids like at our school. We got kids from like totally different backgrounds and walks of life. So you got to just understand that everybody's not the same person. So you can't just expect everybody to be the same. I think that's the hardest part about coaching. And then, like I said, you go get attached to certain kids. Like that freshman class we had so many kids that, when I was in high school, I was bad. So, like, I see them being bad. So they try to get over on me, and I'm like, bro, like, I did the same thing you're doing. Like, you're an idiot. Like, the way you even did it was stupid. Yeah. Like, you're not even slick with it. Like, so you just gotta, just being like, they can see right through the fake. Kids can see right through when you're being phony and you're trying to be fake, energetic. They can see right through that. So, just being you. Like, once you get them bought in, being you, then it's easy. But if you go in there trying to be a rah-rah guy, you're not really a rah-rah guy, or trying to be quiet, you really a
Yeah.
rah-rah guy, they're gonna pick that up, then they're just gonna eat you apart to the point where they're not gonna listen to nothing you say. I mean, they're kids at the end of the day, so you could preach how you want. If they don't believe in what you're saying, I mean, you lost them right then and there. So before the X and O's even start.
I'm not getting into coaching anytime soon. I'm waiting until I have my own children before I do all that.
And that
So,
is some of it is them just like you gotta be stern, and you know what I'm saying, like we got some kids that's gonna have a shot to at least be D1 at the minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them is we think highly that they may be able to feed their family off of football one day. And so but it's getting them to understand that like some kids don't really understand like the NIL and all that has changed everything. Like if you a cat,
well, it's new.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
You're
new.
gonna be able to feed. You're gonna be able to get this
It's not really
blah blah
new.
blah. It's not
Well,
new.
it's
Legally,
not
it's new.
new, but
Legally, it's new.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you be able to, do all that stuff, and so it's like it is like Shaq was saying, like it is different kids that it's some kids you can yell at him in front of the whole team, and he gonna be you right, coach, and he gonna go on about his day.
Yeah.
Now it's other kids, if you do that, he done. He's shutting down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pull him to the side, and you getting the same thing done. You ain't treat him no different. You just know, how each person react, and that comes back to me is building relationships. That's probably 80% of it. If your kids believe in what you're saying and you got a good relationship, I can call a play and it can be a bad call and they can go make a play. You know what I'm saying? We scored a bunch of points and all that, but it's some calls that we went for touchdowns that I was like, boy, I put them in a bad situation, but they gonna go out, make a catch, run a kid over, blah blah blah. They gonna make something happen because they think every call you make is good because we got that relationship.
Okay, that's dope.
And then stemming off that, Brown, because I mean, while we talking about athletes and in college and things like that, so you know most of these kids out here watching Power, man, they doing a horrible job right now displaying the athlete with Zeke Cross. He didn't even know he was 23. Like just making it seem like we all.
By the way, I don't watch Power,
okay,
but that doesn't help the case of me watching Power. That's the dumbest fucking
story.
Like
he like that right there. Like they got him on there. Like he literally just looks like a buffoon. Like he says the dumbest stuff, and it's like literally if you was like how to be a dumb athlete 101. Like you know they had them yellow books in the library. Be dumb athlete for dummies type deal. Like, but piggybacking off of that, because D-Brown, you was one of probably one of the top in our class when it came to football players and grades. Speak on that for any college athletes we got out here. What's it take? What's the minimum requirement? What's the things you did to make sure you was eligible to even accept the NIL deal if that was back then, or even make it to D1? Because you got to pass clearinghouse.
I think the biggest thing is like that's what I've seen. Like football helped me with it. Like now that I'm not playing football, I be kind of all over the place. Football kind of gave me that structure when I was an athlete. That like you making plans, like staying on track of what's due. That's why I feel like a lot of kids mess up. You push something off, boy. It come 2 days like it's due the next day. It's due midnight. You like, dang, now I gotta throw a paper together. And some people can do it easily. I wasn't really one of them
I'm one of those people.
I wasn't.
I'm one of those people. I'm a last minute, but I'm a beast last minute though.
I was one of them people. Like, I made study. Like when I was at Bethune, I did study guys. For the whole class. I was a health and exercise science major, so I'm in. Chem, physics, all probably the toughest classes on campus. I'm making the study guides, and the regular students is using them. But it was just that's how I operated. That's how I knew if I starred everything that the teacher taught. Really, really, you could tell when a teacher, in my opinion, a teacher is something's important and something's just they got to feel a requirement. Something they spend 5-6 minutes on explaining and making sure everybody got. I'm starring it. So when we come back in anatomy, we talked about this over and over. So when I go make this study guide, I'm like, she talked about this, blah, blah, blah. That's probably what's going to be on the test. And it was to the point where I gave my study guide to the teacher one time, and she was like, dang, you got all my test questions, all of them is on here. Like, this is what I would talk about, So that was always me. And so I always honestly I never disliked school, and I understand school ain't for everybody. Like I felt like college was a lot easier because it was something I wanted to do. Like I always wanted to be like I'm big in healthcare, like Shaq know. Like, if you want to find a doctor, blah blah blah. Like I'm in grad school right now for public health and healthcare admin. Like I'm
Okay.
big advocate for especially black men. Like we do a bad job going to the doctor, etc. Like, we die at 3-4 times the rate of everybody else at heart disease and pretty much any, healthcare kind of statistic you look up. And most of it is simply we're afraid of the doctor. We don't trust the doctor, So that was me. Like I tell Shaq all the
That's me right
time,
now.
I tell Shaq, like, I want to be that face that I can come in. Hey, man,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like coaching. I go in there, I can talk
Yeah.
to the players. You can sit me on any football team in the country. I'm be able to relate to the players, talk to them, blah, blah, blah. And it's the same way. I want to help black men. Like, we dying and nobody really cares. It's like, what I'm saying? We having kids and not being able to see them, all the way, like my grandfather. My grandfather had a heart attack. Both my uncles had a heart attack. So my dad is the only one left. And none of
Mm-hmm.
them, made it through. They weren't 70 or nothing. They was 62, 63, 50, etc. They didn't get to see their
Mm-hmm.
grandkids, etc. Like they missed out on a whole bunch. Just simple because we didn't take the medicine prescribed, or we just won't go see the doctor
Mm-hmm.
or do what we kind of told, or we don't have that person in our corner saying, this is a good doctor. Every doctor is not good. I understand. There are doctors that are better for us in this situations, so those type of stuff we gotta address. I feel like,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
would have
how I
been
use
horrible.
school.
Don't let me be a doctor because I skated. I definitely would have skated through medical school for sure.
Nah,
Because
and
the
I wouldn't even
thing,
say that. I don't know if you can like. I didn't
man,
see
Yeah,
it.
I don't think
Some
you could skate
man,
that
you can skate,
bro.
bro. If you got to think, bro. I didn't mess up
Oh.
people in my life who are extremely book smart. Like they
yeah.
have the
Yeah.
ability to regurgitate information at a will. But when it's time to get their boots dirty, they don't know what the hell they doing. Like
Doing okay.
they memorized this was the test, this was the answer. They done their clinicals. Now it's time to really do it. You came in here shot, you leaking. It's time to go in here and operate. And they in here like, oh, page 7. It didn't look, it wasn't this bloody. It didn't look this bad.
I'll
Well,
say,
that's because they focus. Go ahead. Go ahead,
I'll
man. My
say
fault.
with a shooting victim, it's a little different. You got to be a specialty. You got to be.
Yeah.
You got to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? You the OC. You know what I'm saying? Like you the DC. You the head coach in that surgery room. Now I do know. I understand what you're saying. Like some of those family like doctors, etc. They didn't memorize the book. And it's not a lot of them. So they definitely can probably. I would say skate because you guys spent 8 years doing that, but I definitely get what you're saying.
Man, how much school you gotta do to be a
I
BBL
think
doctor?
Nah, you gotta be that guy.
Them people dying on the BBL table.
BBL.
They dying on the BBL table all the time.
Listen, they
I think
die
it's more so.
on the patient not listening. I didn't see, I at first I thought I was crazy. Like, man, I should have go get this Dr. Miami money. Not like Skip run the hospital, like he getting a bag. I'm sure he charging 20,
Facts.
30K, you know what I'm
Nah,
saying,
he more than
to
that. He like 50,
Nah, I didn't
60K.
see that. I didn't see his numbers. It ain't. I thought he was charging like 50, 60K. It's really like 20, 25. It's not as outrageous as I thought it was, but you ain't got to charge 50, 60 if every
Well,
day.
It's a
Yeah, you come in there every
quick
day.
operation.
You got
Yeah.
8 people every day. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to hit them over the head
That's
because
100K a day.
you getting your money, you getting
Facts.
the bag, you pay Uncle Sam his piece, you going about your day. But some of them people don't be realizing how serious of a procedure it is. And so, like, you see the TikToks and the videos, they get a BBL, they on the flight the same day. Like,
Yeah.
no, ma'am, like,
Not even sitting in the seats though. They
yeah,
guys bent over,
you know what I'm
hunched over the
saying?
seat and shit.
You ain't supposed to be doing that. If you ain't listening to the first rule of, hey, you probably need to chill and relax for a couple of days, and you on a flight, you getting a surgery at 8 o'clock. He done at 10. You on a flight back from Miami to wherever at 3. You ain't listening. You ain't getting to the crib listening to none of them rules that they just said follow. You know what I'm saying? Are they going
BBL
over
is
here
crazy.
to whatever country they can find for $2,000. I ain't let nobody do no surgery on me for $2,000. I wouldn't get
Mexico. It's Mexico, bro. That's where they going.
ain't no. You talking about maybe we talking about skating by? That's probably where they skating by. Look,
Boys,
SA and
boys
ain't
is skating by, man.
Oh yeah, they skating for sure.
for
Man,
They
for
skating
two
for sure.
bands. You ain't cutting nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no way. Cause I didn't see them. I didn't see plenty of medical bills, and they ain't charging $2K to cut. The dude ain't even come in the room for $2K. You know what I mean? He getting two. You know what I'm saying? He getting a bag. The surgeon is getting a bag. He ain't coming in no room. I'm finna operate for
Fact.
2 hours for $2K. Ain't no good surgery. Be like, man, I'm cool. Don't worry about it. Somebody else can do it. I'm gonna wait another hour, get another patient, go ahead and make $10K off of you to do the same surgery. Ain't no good surgeon working for on 2 bands.
Man, I'm cool. I don't got steady hands.
It definitely takes some
Yeah.
years to get right.
But before we leave that college subject, I know we didn't hop off in some other lanes. What was the dumbest thing a college coach ever asked you to do in college?
I wouldn't say it was me, but okay. So college football, I don't think people understand. Like people, like when people transfer, like transfer portal and all that's been like a huge topic. People don't really understand why so many dudes want to leave. You know, I didn't see the coach kick a player in the chest. You know, when it happened, Shaq, I called you. I was in
Yeah.
disbelief, but I watched him spark. Listen, when I say 300 Spartan kick a man in the chest, like. And then told him like, "Hey, if you ain't gonna do nothing about it."
That is wicked.
You know, I didn't.
That's wicked. What position did he play?
It was a DB.
Well, college
Oh,
coaches
he
talk to
wicked.
you
College,
like
you
you
ain't
ain't
nothing.
shit, Darren. I'm
Depending on
telling
where
you.
you at.
What about Urban Meyer kicking his kicker in the leg?
See,
That's wicked.
that wouldn't even surprise me. I didn't heard a college coach ask a kid was his mama on crack when she was pregnant with him. You know, like they have no. You get out there, they feel like they can say whatever they want to say. Now it was a little different when I got the Bethune. When I got the Bethune, it was way different. Coach Sims and then was laid back. You know, he'd crack jokes with you and all that, but nah, like my time when I was at Eastern Michigan, hey man, hey, they feel like they can say whatever. If 90, I would say not 99%, 90% chance of a dude at a school, a big time D1 program, and he say this coach said XYZ to me, I would believe it because
But nowadays, you didn't play too long ago, but it feels like it's a long time ago.
yeah,
Nowadays, I don't even think those conversations can even happen anymore. Like what's said in the locker room because of how engaging people are on social media. Like there's people on live all the time on social media. Matter of fact, the other day, you didn't see the video the other day where it was a high school or college coach. They recorded a conversation that they just got their ass whooped. They on the bus ride home.
Oklahoma,
They
I remember
laughing
that.
and
Yeah.
joking and shit.
Yep.
Yeah, they laughing and joking. The motherfuckers start spazzing. Like what?
See,
So like those
most of the time, them kind of like the stuff I'm talking about happened on a field, so you didn't even got your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like the one time somebody did have their phone was my head coach at Eastern Michigan. Ron English got fired because a dude recorded him while they was in the coaches while they was in the meeting room. So, but most of the stuff, like the stuff he said, like that said that was like, yeah, that was bad because he was like it was homophobic like slurs, but it was like. I would rather somebody call me that than say my mama on crack when she was
Nah,
pregnant with
that's
me. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like you
Saying,
calling me a crack baby and my mama a
I'm
crack baby.
cracking.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's to me is way worse. But also I'm not gay, so you know what I'm saying. They might take somebody gay might take it a different way. But you know like somebody kicking you in your chest like is
Nah, that's wicked.
you know what I'm saying
That's
like
That's
crazy.
one thing, and it's not right, and it probably never change if you're 100% right. But if you got kids and you want them to go to college, and you got aspirations of them being this, that, and the third, please tell them to get some tough skin because they're gonna be put in a situation where it's gonna be some bullshit. It's gonna be some
where like you
bullshit.
gonna get called soft and all and like and I didn't do it and I ain't like I didn't told kid because you can some kids like I had a kid that was playing bad and I told him like man you know you playing soft like you don't never play like that and so when I put him to the side and I see like he told me what's going on then it's like okay like But it's some dudes that it don't matter what you do. Like that's the thing. Like college football, people say it's a business, but they really don't understand. Even before NIL and all that, it was a business. Like you had a bunch of grown men using these men to like young men to feed their families. Urban Meyer and
Mm-hmm.
all them is getting a bag. They don't want to lose their bag. So whatever they
Mm-hmm.
feel like they got to do to keep that bag going, I don't know if y'all ever looked up Nick Saban's deal, but Nick Saban owned car dealerships.
Yeah, I seen
Every
them.
year he come out with the Sprinter vans with his name and his signature and the headrest and all that. And he only make 10 of them a year. He auctioned them off to Alabama fans. You know what I'm saying? Like
Not even, yeah,
kids don't
not
pay.
even that. Riley deal for USC is insane.
You
If
know
you
what I'm
go to a
saying?
college deal, look at that deal. That is crazy.
You got all they dudes that they kids going to college for free. They kids going to school for free. The university is paying a housing bill, like paying for their house, paying for all their cars,
Private jets,
private jets. You know what I'm saying? They helping you sell your last house, and if you can't sell it, they buy it. You know what I'm
they buy
saying?
it. Facts. Yeah.
It's you got all that going on, so you gonna have people that's like are really honestly the thing that happens to a lot of people is you get recruited by one staff, that coach leaves, get fired, blah blah blah. Or your coach that recruited you leaves, so that dude they bring in another dude and that dude don't rock with you. So it could be
Mm-hmm.
nothing personal what you do. He bring XYZ kid in, so he likes that kid. That's one of his guys, and you just simply not his guy. He didn't recruit you. He don't feel like he owe you any loyalty because he didn't recruit you. So then you kind of sitting there in a situation like, well, do I
Hey,
stay? Like I
do
like it
I
here, but
leave?
I ain't gonna never play. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't rock with me. What do I do? So then you got 2,000 kids in the transfer portal.
So I don't know if we have any more coaching questions, but I want to ask this question. What does your coaching path look like from here? I know we're enjoying it right now, trying to soak in and learn as much as we can, but what is your coaching path from here? What do we like to do? Where we like to be?
Honestly, I don't know, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
you know, I get the question all the time. Am I gonna move back up? Because I was on varsity. It was my decision. To me, in my mind, it's promotion. I was an O-line coach. I wanted to call plays and that stuff and learn it and be. You go down to freshman, and I was the OC. Like I was in control. Like Shaq could be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I want to see this," blah blah blah. But for the most part, I was in control, and so you had your hand. I had my hands and everything, and it made me grow as a coach too. Like I was played offensive line, so I'm so used to just looking at the box. So then I'm watching film. Now I got to watch the box, but also, which I already was easy because that's what I've done since the third, fourth grade. Now I'm seeing a secondary. Oh, how they gonna line up to this coverage? How they gonna roll? Blah blah blah. So I'm seeing all that stuff. And so like later this spring, I'm opening up my O-line academy, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and all that type of stuff. So as far as like the high school part, I'm just kind of enjoying it, trying to learn if was something to happen, somebody offer me another promotion or something, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't take it, but I wouldn't be, I could see myself in 5 years or something being an OC, have varsity OC or something. So, I ain't gonna never count nothing
Okay.
out. I done did the FBU stuff and was the head coach and kind of just getting experiences and different, seeing the game from different sides.
Okay. That's dope.
Darren, when you gonna start your coaching journey? Or we believe coaching?
Man, I done told you. I ain't got the patience yet.
So how
Man,
you think you gonna wait till you have? If you don't got patience
So,
now,
Listen, yes, it's gonna be worth
you
it.
think your patience gonna get
No,
easier?
I'm working. Right now, no, I'm working on it though. Like I'm discrediting myself a lot though. I'm very, very patient, but I'm a little bit more emotional than usual. You feel what I'm saying? And so I got to do it better at identifying that not everybody's gonna have the skill set that I'm looking. And I got to do it better. Probably do better. I've never developed anybody or coached anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where I'm gonna be. So I just gotta. I'm trying to be a little bit more analytical first, learn the game a little bit more. Coaching is deep diving into things, right? I mean, it's more so of character, who you develop, and it's more so development and building relationships with your kid. You feel what I'm saying? But on the football side of me, you got to know what the fuck you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about, but I ain't never coached before.
I ain't
so
gonna say you gotta know what you
process.
talk about because there's a lot of cats.
Okay.
Now, so
yeah, I
like,
agree. Yeah,
well,
true.
me and
It's a
Shaq be
lot of-
talking all the time.
You'll
It's a
get a
lot of
booster,
pretenders.
even in college. Like when I was at Indiana State, Coach Everett.
You know what I'm saying?
He was a
you get some-
linebacker that they made a running back coach, and I promise you, I could tell him I could have coached the running backs and played at the same time better than he was coaching us. Like
You
we
can
was
definitely
always,
get some.
yeah.
You get some cats. You know, me and Shaq will go watch youth football games, and we'll watch somebody. We'll be like, bro, who is coaching this team? Like,
Who is
what?
playing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you coaching these kids? Boy, you just setting these kids up for failure. Like, what do you have these kids doing? You know what I'm saying? Even at the height, it was in games this year. We call a play. I'm like, well, why are you lining up like that? Like, this is stealing. We finna call a play. I'm finna call this play, and it's gonna be 6. And it ain't even nothing your kids did
Kids can
wrong.
do about it. It's what you did.
You know what I'm saying? You lined them up and you told them to do that. Like, I know, like, because you call a formation. I'm like, nah, that was a mistake. He ain't gonna line up like that again. I didn't call it again. I'm like, bro, who taught y'all football? Like you not got sound. You know what I'm saying? You got one cat. I'm in trips. I got 3 receivers. You got one dude over there. Like, bro, we gonna catch the ball. We gonna throw it to a dog, and he gonna go score a touchdown.
I think
So
I think a lot of time is too. It's about establishing your coaching philosophy and what you believe in as a coach. So like I kind of like mine. I would say kind of D Brown's too a little bit, but like I got mine kind of borrowed from Coach Tussey, but I just believe that too. Like I'm just like I got so much moxie and energy. Like I'm like I don't give a fuck what you do. My cast is better than your cast, so you got to line up and stop this shit. You know I'm running to this same spot. We're gonna punch you in your motherfucking mouth until you figure something else out, or we get tired. Other than that, I'm not gonna do nothing special. I feel like a lot of coaches get caught up in trying to do all the pretty and glam and shit. Like instead of just lining up and saying, "Bro, stop this shit." Like,
and see, I didn't got caught in that. Like it'd be times, Shaq. I definitely in a game. I ain't gonna say what game it was. We was in a spring league. Our starting quarterback was out, and I was trying to do some different stuff. And I called a pass with the backup quarterback. And Shaq had told me like, Brown, I don't know. And I'm like, bro, the coverage is there. Like, it's gonna be a wide open throw. Now, granted, I called it and it was wide open. But again,
Just didn't make it. Yeah.
It was our backup quarterback. He threw it to the D line to a pick 6 the other way, and it was I get on film like maybe I'm like dang, I set him up. Blah blah. I get on film. We go watch it. No, the receiver
wide
naked.
open.
But you doing too much. You got your backup quarterback. Come on, we gotta keep it to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like it's keep it simple, stupid. Like Coach Tussey, like Chad was talking about that he used to always say, like, what I'm saying? We do, and I feel like the energy, like on our freshman staff, our kids really do feel like they can line up, they can tell you to play, what we gonna run, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. We gonna hit you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? We gonna run it again. We'll tell you, it's been plenty of teams. I'm calling a play, and they telling their kids like, hey, this is coming, blah blah blah, and we still go run the ball inside zone, get 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, because our kids, had that confidence, had that swag.
Facts. I think if I was to be a coach or a head coach, I would be more like Denzel. Remember the Titans? Like, I'm running 3 plays. Like, you gonna have to stop. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit gonna get clamped, bro.
Bro, no.
It's all about personnel, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's all about personnel. I think
it's all about confidence and moxie and swagger. And
confidence, players. Right? But it's all about.
See, listen, like I just seen a lot of offensive coordinators. I've been around multiple in my time. They think you need 30 different plays to. The defense is only running cover 4, cover 3, 0, and a couple blitzes. So why do you need 60 different plays to beat the same 4 plays?
So. Yeah, I don't agree with the. I agree with variety, but I don't agree with the 60 plays. But I feel like every game should be catered to a script.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? I don't think you should follow the script that you had.
And listen, I'll say that's the script. Shaq knows. Like, I want to be organized. I want to be detailed. I would have a script. I would have my practice script. man, I would get in the game and be like, man, I would have to remind myself to look at this script, look at
Mm-hmm.
these plays, because you start getting a feel of what you like. Like, example,
Well, yeah,
it was a team we was playing. I knew all week this is what I wanted to call this play. But I get in there, we go like no play, we go like a tempo where we just fake clap, and I want to see how they line up. I see it. One of our kids is looking. He didn't signal what we should call, and he was already thinking what I was thinking. So we didn't call the play, and the first play of the game go for 70. You know what I'm saying? So it's like after that, you like I got this script in my hand and I'm carrying it around, but you really ain't. You get
yeah.
good at certain. If you can get good at certain plays. Shaq, like I blocked for Shaq. When we were number 3 in the country, we ran outside zone behind me and Deshaun Bonds ended up playing for the Colts, on his own cookie shop and stuff, shout out to him. But
Shout out to
it didn't
Bondo
really
Cookies.
we didn't really have to do it. We would hit you outside zone, hit you outside zone, hit you outside zone, Shaq and Buck, and then we go get. Then the one time we play action, Kevin Davis would go on a streak or a post. Kyle would pull it, bomb, and it'd be like drive over. You know what I'm
So
saying?
Darren,
Like,
I agree with you when it comes to script, but like I want to shout out Coach Nick Hart, who just won state at is it Gibson
Gibson
Southern?
Southern. Yep,
So
Gibson
what he
Southern.
used to do it. That's probably one of my favorite offensive coordinators that I played for. He would like, so every week he watches film, do his due diligence, and then that week we would work on a script for the first drive. So I'm talking about it'll be straight up tempo. We already know the first almost 15 plays of the game, regardless of what's going on. And then after that, he got bread and butter. As a coach, you got to build bread and butter. Everything came like, okay, I'm gonna run this. This is what they showed me on film.
Well,
Because the same
yeah,
way as you watching film, the defensive coordinator is watching film too. So he see that you
mm-hmm.
like this. You can't always bank on that defensive coordinator to show you the same exact look that you saw on film from the last week. So I think if you don't find bread and butter, if you don't got to play, you can call. Okay, I know I need 4 yards right here. I'm more built on tendency plays. I need 4 yards. I know I can run inside zone and get 3 to 4 every single time. I know we can run this and almost get this every single time. Then it make all the trickery and the fun stuff that you want to do. It make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't got that
Even
bread and butter, that fun stuff it just looks horrible.
even with your bread and
Mm-hmm.
butter, it's so many ways to
To dress
like
it up.
dress it up. Like, emotions, and like Oklahoma run Lincoln, because now he gone. Lincoln Riley run counter 500 different ways. You know what I'm saying? You could write a book on all, he gonna get in all these different formations to do the same thing. The dudes is gonna block the same
Same as
dudes that they would in every formation, but they didn't just window dress it to make everybody honor the whole field, etc. So a lot of it is I'm still going motion. I'm gonna fake this RPO and I'm gonna go counter. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fake something else and go counter, and just doing it over and over and over. And you got to honor. And the O-line, the 5 dudes up front, is blocking the same play. They didn't window dress to
mm-hmm.
move the tight end and move the receiver, blah, blah, blah. Now that teams is taking the running back, motioning him out and faking him, then running counter. Like, it's a million ways to do it. So Denzel was right. In theory, you could run 3 run plays. Now Denzel, that what was it, out of Georgia reverse and all.
Yeah, he
Nah,
was running a wishbone.
what I'm saying, now it might get boxed a little bit depending on who you play, but it all depends still. Like Shaq was saying,
Georgia
you gotta
Tech
have
just
cat.
switched their offense. Georgia Tech was running the same offense for 30 plus years.
You know what I'm saying? They was
Yeah, I don't know
cool.
how
It just
DT and Calvin got over 1,000 with the wishbone.
I
They
don't
was
even know how
running,
Calvin
bro.
took that offer. If I was Calvin, ain't no way in hell I would have been to
Facts.
Georgia Tech.
DT too though. Demarius Thomas
Demarius
too.
Thomas.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to think they bigger
see
bodies. Like Warren was
they
Yeah, they
getting
were.
single
Yeah.
they getting single coverage every
coverage.
play.
Yeah,
You
you
know
right.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got no choice. You got 8 in the box.
Because if you don't, you go, 2 over the top, boy, they gonna run for 1,000,000 yards on you.
1,000,000 yards. So I know we didn't went down the deep end on this coaching trail, but hey, I love the energy. That was definitely good info that I saw.
And I could talk football for days,
Yeah, days.
consecutively.
But before we get out of here, I definitely got to ask you 2 things. What's your Warren Central Rushmore, Mount Rushmore overall, and then what's your Warren Central O line Mount Rushmore? I'm about to say mushroom.
So number one to me, I know everybody, had I don't feel like you cannot put Jeff George as number one. He was Gatorade Player of the Year, number one ranked player in the country, uh, number one overall pick. You know what I'm saying? His resume, ain't none of ours touching his. You know what I'm saying? Then Finch, Darren, D. Bell definitely up there.
You only get 4.
I only get 4, so I
So
go
you got Jeff
I
George.
I go Jeff George. I
Nah,
would
give him 5
go
like a lineup. Give him 5.
This ain't
uh
basketball.
I go
4
Jeff.
Mount Rushmore only got 4 heads up there.
I think so.
Yeah, it do got 4. I think.
I think so.
Nah,
Hey,
they got 5. They got 5 heads up there.
He said, 5. Y'all really think if y'all play, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
no.
Fuck, I'm gonna lose. Them questions ain't 5th grade questions, bro.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I be watching that show like, bro, I'm dumb as hell.
Facts.
If I had to go
Facts,
forward,
bro.
that would be the forward. Then you could add somebody like Sheldon Day or it damn sure ain't that dude that be on Fox Sports talking about he top 10 players ever.
Man, I ain't never even heard of him, bro.
Yeah,
Darren like
I
that.
would.
That's Darren's guy.
I don't even know what the fuck y'all talking about. You talking about the dude that put bro on?
Whitlock.
Yeah.
Oh no, Whitlock
Yeah.
he's a fucking clown. Don't have it. Whitlock. But I mean, what I like about Whitlock though, is that he stands on his point. He know he wrong, but he won't alter his viewpoint on shit. Like, can't nobody change his mind. That's what pisses people off. Is he can say some dumb, outlandish shit, and he's standing on that hill. So I respect that, I guess.
If I had to do a Warren Central O-line, I'm gonna do a starting 5. If I had to do a starting 5, it'd be me at left tackle, Devon at left guard, probably J.O. at center, Clev at right guard. Who gonna put at right tackle, man? Well, that's hard. I'll ride with Andrew McDonald. I'll put Andrew McDonald. That's my guy. I'll put Andrew McDonald. I think we'll run for probably. Darren ran for what, 62?
62 touchdowns in one season.
Yeah, we definitely probably he would have touched 80. He would have touched 80.
You know that, Darren?
No, 62 in the season.
And he missed the game.
And
he missed the game.
And he went 62 in a season.
Talking about. He missed the game, and he was done playing at halftime, and almost 90% of the games.
62 in a season.
62 touchdowns.
And then only play one half and miss the game.
Yes.
What's the name? BD. See, it's BD that year. The what they call it? The black. What they call it? Black something. He had like 7 at half. Like I'm talking.
And these are 60-yard scampers, untouched.
They head coach said the only thing that could stop him was the end zone. Like that's how, you know what I'm saying? Like he in the paper saying that. Like it wasn't nothing we gonna do about that. But with that Auburn line, he probably touched 80.
I gotta ask. I'm at to do it. I know this is an O-line guy, but I gotta go Mount Rushmore most electric players that I've seen in Warren Central history, and I gotta go number 1. I'm going Dexter Taylor as one of the most electrifying players that we had. Number 2, I'm going George Cheeseborough is one of the most electric players we had.
Jeez.
Number 3, I gotta go. Jeremy Finch is one of the most electric players we had. No.
Yeah, I agree, Jeremy.
Yeah, I gotta
because he'd take a punt.
So I get 5. I get 5. I got Dexter Taylor, Cheese, Jeremy. I gotta go Caleb Humphrey at 4. And then I'm gonna shock the world. I'm going Kyron Williams. I'm going Kyron Williams at 5. So I always want to shout out.
Now look, Kyron definitely could be up there. D Bill was electrifying. Like D Bill did.
Man, yeah, D Bill a dog, but I'm talking about these players. He did do a lot of stuff that was electrifying, but I'm talking about these boys. Like when I see them touch the ball, like I know something different. I'm gonna have to send you that clip, Darren. He a freshman, boy.
Hey, he stopped and start and had. Boy, people be breaking down. He didn't start running down the sideline. Like,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? They still trying to come to power.
He different.
All right.
Now, LN.
He developed him. He a freshman.
Yeah, he gonna be a sophomore.
Hey, but before you say your next statement, just don't even say it. Because you're gonna say some dumb shit.
I say his name LN's. I mean, y'all was good though back in like 06, 05. Y'all had some.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? How am I fucking say name anything like that?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, I ain't gonna get it twisted. Omar and McCulley and them was like that.
Omar nice. Omar nice. McCulley nice too.
You graduated
2015.
So 2013, we put up 70 on y'all. In like the first 2 quarters.
Okay, that's okay. You know what the fuck you want me to say? That's okay.
First 2 quarters.
That's okay. That is okay.
That was a half.
Basil Smotherman was dunking on y'all ass.
No, Devin.
Basil was dunking
yes.
on y'all,
I went
bro.
to middle school with him. But no, Devin Davis and them definitely won Mick that year because they beat Carm on a buzzer beater. Ed Warren out.
Basil and company.
Cal,
my boy Pat had y'all niggas on skates. Come on, man. Y'all don't know about Pat.
Listen,
Pat had y'all niggas on skates. Basil was slamming y'all. Come on, man.
We lost the LC.
Women and the Owens had y'all motherfuckers ankles.
No, that was B. I say that was BD. I ain't gonna lie. BD girls back in the day.
BD girls was different back then.
No. Our LN females was raw.
No, I remember. I know
raw. Jordan was cold. Anna had y'all on skates. She did one move. Nigga, they put us. Y'all had this too though. Y'all like had the little TV in the we had to watch like little news shit, like the sports highlights. Man, she put some girl on skate. She on some D-roll shit, some twitchy shit. She killed them, bro.
She was getting a lot of love. I mean, I seen her play UConn, or was it UConn or Connecticut? What's the girls' team is
UConn.
the coldest? Yeah, they beat them like 90-19 or some shit. She was out there fighting for her life. Cincinnati. When she went to Cincinnati. Yeah, she was fighting.
Nah, UConn.
She was fighting. But she was nice and she was definitely doing boys.
She was nice.
But nah, Basil and them, I ain't going for that. Dev and them definitely won the Mick because that's all our senior class. Because I went to middle school with Basil, and Dev and them won on a buzzer beater because I was on a Warren radio station back then. And we beat Carmel the last game of the regular season, and then we choked in the first round of sectionals to LC
against Cal.
We did all that, won the Mick, and then
not against Kyle Guy. Not against Kyle Guy.
Yeah, it was Kyle Guy.
Kyle Guy was a freshman. Kyle Guy was a freshman.
He was young.
He was on that team.
He was young and gave us buckets.
Yeah, it was.
Guess who dropped him though? My nigga Pat put him on the skates, put him on the ground. But it don't matter. That nigga Kyle in the NBA.
Yeah, in the NBA. But
we want him a natty.
We appreciate you, D Brown, for stopping through. Before we get up out of here, we got to shout out to our last sponsor, Magnolia. And D Brown, you got the beer going. Darren, I see you got the beer going. Both of y'all guys looking a little dry. You know, I already applied.
No. I already
applied, man.
I done got the Magnolia. Don't disrespect me with the dry.
I had that mask on all day, you know, it messed with the beard, man.
So you get on the Magnolia, man, and there's 3 ways to apply, man. So I do the oil drops first, then I hit the skin butter, I lavender with the skin butter, then I tap like my nose a couple of times. I get that gloss, then I come back with the pomade, and I got the citrus, man. So if you need some beard oil build treatments, or hey, Valentine's Day coming up, tell your wife, don't go cheap. We need that good stuff. Get on Magnolia, get you a beard kit, and you get come with a brush too, a nice little wooden brush. Yep. Nice handheld, boy. I put it in my little travel kit.
Special shout out to them for keeping your beard moisturized too, because you put it on going to boxing ring and let them niggas knock the moisture out your shit. So. That shit stayed on. It stayed on. They knocking the moisture out my nigga Shaq fucking beard like Sonic rings, nigga, and that shit stayed.
Man, don't move. I be in the ring. I be blocking, slipping. My shit don't. Not a strand out of place, man. Like, no, that pomade hold, man. But appreciate you again for stopping through, my boy. Shout out to the whole team.
I appreciate it.
Shout out to the heroes.